of actually streaming live, and again, thank you so much to every single one of my subscribers. This is only possible because of you, and I really truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I had previously been like, oh, I don't know if I want to be a streamer because like I'm just so like, terrified of it because it's performing live in front of like everybody. Um, but after doing it for the first time yesterday, I'm like, hey, I really enjoy this. I got such a rush, and afterwards I was like, wow, that was like a real dopamine hit. um, so yeah, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Again, welcome. I've got the community welcome sign, which again, if like anybody wants me to add something to the sign, please let me know in the comments and I will try to add more things to it because it is looking kind of sparse at the moment, although we've got the happy little YouTube frog there, which was a suggestion by one of the viewers, so thank you. And it's gonna fall on my head, so I'll just pop it down there. Speaking of head, yes, my title is that I chopped all my hair off, and okay, there might have been a few videos previously where you saw me with the shorter hair. Yesterday I did had the shorter hair. I do know that for sure. But yes, I did actually chop it off. So, it was this long, and I chopped it off. Now, this is not 20 centimeters, which is the required length if you want to donate hair to charity for making wigs for people who either have like that have lost their hair through medical reasons, such as through chemotherapy for cancer patients or people with alopecia. Usually it has to be at least 20 centimeters and it has to be natural. Now, obviously, this is not, but I found a charity that does actually accept hair that has been bleached or color treated, and if it is shorter than the length, what they do is they then go to the salons and they basically trade it, or they offer it to the students at the salons and at the TAFEs for uh, basically learning, experimenting, practicing their dyeing techniques, and practicing making wigs and things like that. So it still does. So it doesn't go to waste. So I'm gonna send this off to that charity, which I have an account with. It's called Variety. That's spelled Variety. And the page I have is on their Australian website, which is hairwithheart.variety.org.au. I'll have a link in the description there as well. Yeah. I'm not sponsored by them. In a way, I guess I'm sponsoring them. Oh, hi! Hi, Danny! Nice to see you. Oh, I'm so glad I can see, yes, I can see people's posts down below. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I just love that sound. Yes, now I am pleased to donate my hair to this charity because well, firstly, my dear mother survived cancer herself, a totally different kind of cancer, and thankfully she did not have to go through chemotherapy. They were able to treat it just with physical operation where they actually cut the cancer out of her. But still, that's why the charities that support cancer patients means a lot to me. And I have also been very lucky that I don't want to reveal my age, but even at my age, I'm still growing very thick, very healthy, dark black hair. Like, it's coming out. And so I'm going to share with you some tips of, how to grow thick, healthy hair so that perhaps you too could donate to the charity, or you could just, enjoy having beautiful, thick, lovely hair. So today I'm going to talk a bit about that. I know, again, I was like, yes, this is our channel, but I guess I should probably call it more of a philosophy channel or a creativity channel, because it goes far more beyond just painting and drawing. Which, like painting and drawing are big and wonderful things to have in your life, and to express your creativity on its own. But, this channel just has like seemed to wander down these rabbit holes of like other topics and areas, which I would like to include. And even though they are kind of like art, as in like humanities art, they are they are a bit beyond that. I think it's more appropriate to call them like being creative or philosophical. Anyway, so cheers. Again, I'm drinking my Coca-Cola, which brings me to the first tip of having thick, healthy, beautiful hair. Stay hydrated. Like, you know how like grass and trees grow? Well, you need to give them like lots of sunlight and water. So drink plenty of water. Again, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I just want to share. I've got these cute cups, these Hello Kitty cups from Gotcha. And every day I keep these to motivate me to stay hydrated all the time. So every night I refill them, so that every morning I have fresh, healthy water to drink. And of course, I have my Coca-Cola. And again, not sponsored or anything, but I love Coca-Cola. It's my favorite drink. And I have like a ton of allergies, and Coca-Cola is like the only fizzy drink that I'm not allergic to. So, and that has been like my whole life. So you can imagine going to like, parties as a little child and not being able to drink fizzy drinks was like absolute hell. So when I discovered that Coca-Cola had no preservatives in it, I was like, this is fantastic. No breaking out in a rash or anything. And of course it tastes amazing. And originally it was a digestive, so and I think it does, like, it whenever I'm having a bit of a tummy ache, I drink it, and it's like it just calms my stomach, and at least, comforts me, it makes me feel a little better. So oh, I'm not sure if you can hear the music or whether I look like I'm bopping on my own, but I found like some free music, so I can play some music online and not get copyright strike, which is awesome. So actually I will give credit to Audio Library Plus on YouTube, and the song is called Aurora. I'm just like grooving to it. Okay, tip number 2 is, like I was saying, that when you grow plants and things, you got to give them vitamin D, like sunlight, and nutrients and things like that, which plants will grow in the soil, but like because it's growing on your head. Vitamins, again, not sponsored, but the Swiss one actually has this hair, skin, and nails, like specifically formulated for hair, skin, and nails. which I really like. There's a few other brands too that have like specifically hair, skin, and nails, and what they have in them is biotin, vitamin C, iron, silica, zinc. This one has milk thistle in it. Excuse me. I also take a vitamin D, which is a separate little. I love the gummy ones, which I got from Nature's Way. But again, there are plenty of different brands, and I am not sponsored by any of them. The one I use is by Nature's Way, and I like having gummy ones because it makes me feel like I'm having candy for breakfast every morning when I'm really being a good girl and having my vitamins. So, yep, get these vitamin pills. I'm trying to remember to like look at the camera and not look down at the chat the whole time. So, but yes, I see you in chat. Yeah. So that was another tip. Oh, now the other one is again, I am allergic to like a ton of things, and I have tried all the different types of shampoos and conditioners, and there are plenty out there. And I have eventually just gone like there some did work, some do make your hair like, you know, shinier. So, and there's it's a minefield. It is like crazy how many different products there are out there, and I certainly don't want to talk down to any of them, but I never found one that actually suited me. Partially because of allergies, partially because like, so, you know, things that had chemicals in them, but I'm even allergic to like really natural things like olive oil and things like that. So like some of those like super organic you know, ones that are promoting they only have the most natural ingredients and things, I also had allergic reactions to. I actually found that the best was a completely minimalistic option. I literally threw out all my shampoos, all my conditioners, even the ones that were hypoallergenic, even the ones that said that they had uh, this stuff in it that was supposed to be helpful to allergy skin. Um, and I found the strangest thing cures like pretty much everything, and that's salt water. I put like a tablespoon into a 200 ml bottle, and I just shake it up with water until it dissolves. I put it through, like, I rub it into my scalp and stuff, and what that does is it cleanses and exfoliates. It will kill off any mold or fungus or bacteria or any nasties at all, and it gives your hair a bit more texture, and then you just rinse it out, and then I wash with Dove soap, just plain old Dove soap, keeps it nice and clean. I don't feel like it dries my hair too much at all. In fact, yeah, so I have not been adding any like conditioners or anything, and my hair is still very shiny and just like super clean. And but if I do feel like it is dry and I do want to put a little bit of styling or whatever into it, just normal sweet almond oil, which I just put in a little like pump bottle like this, and you only need like just like a little squirt, and just rub it through your hair, and it gives it like this. It gives it like a really nice shine. And it just takes care of like any split ends or like any like dryness that's happening as well. Oh, great question, Danny. Perfect. Yes, about preventing baldness. Now, a lot of people think that if their hair is falling out or if they're being too rough with their hair, that will actually cause baldness. That's not true. That's complete and utter myth. Okay. Hair is actually there to protect your head. It's protecting against like the elements like sun and wind. And, you know, in the wild, you would be like, you know, running through like forest and stuff, and your trees and branches would be like, you know, scraping. And that's why animals in the wild have fur all over, because the fur actually protects the skin, right? So the best way to like prevent baldness is to brush and comb regularly. Brush a lot every day. Don't miss a spot. Just keep, because it's the blood circulation and the defense mechanisms triggering that actually causes the hair to grow. Now, I also have like one of these. I got this off Temu. It's soft silicone, so the bristles are very flexible. It's a scalp massager, and you can just gently rub that in your hair like this. And particularly if you have any bald spots, just gently massage it. Get that blood circulation flowing through all your follicles. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the salt water. The salt water will clear out any of the nasties. It will remove any fungus or any bacteria or any mold or like any nasties that are blocking your follicles and preventing them from growing out. The salt water will just cleanse all of that out. So you put the salt water in, massage it into your hair, maybe use one of these. Just gently massage it in. Okay, I'm not a medical professional, but in my experience, I've known a couple of friends that I gave them this advice because they were experiencing that they had some bald patches or that they had a lot of hair falling out all the time. And they said that my advice helped, that they did get like a soft bristled brush. I'll be right back. I'll get one to show you. This one's a back scrubbing one, but like the boar bristle ones, the ones that are just like very soft brushes like this, yeah, and just that, and again, just massage gently wherever you feel, and know that like some hair is going to drop out. I like when I brush my hair, I'll like sometimes have like a ton of hairs like collect on top of this. Oh, like there's a couple of hairs on there. I also got from Daiso, or you can like, you know, when fruits and stuff are wrapped in these mesh things, you can put that on your brush, and that way it'll just protect your brush, and you'll be able to like easily remove hair when it builds up on your brush there. But yeah, so just gently massage, because that's all it is. You just want to encourage the blood circulation to your scalp, and you just do that every day. One of my friends in high school, she had the most luxurious long thick hair, and when I asked her what her secret was, she was just like, she made sure that she brushed her hair 100 times a day. Like she would count it. She'd go like 1, 2, 3, 100 times a day. Like she would make sure, and her hair did grow out like super thick and super long. So I think it is possible to grow back hair, particularly if you have like if you are having problems with hair growing, that if you just make sure that you keep the skin really well cleansed so that no nasties are actually blocking the follicles or preventing the follicles from thriving. Um, and yeah, don't worry if you do have like lots of hair coming out, because that hair that's coming out is clearing the follicles. So the follicles are like the little, they're like, you know, when you plant like seeds in the soil and stuff, the like little holes that you stick the seeds into. That's what it is. It's like, so your hair has like a root, and the root is stuck into like a little like seed hole in your head, right? So what you just want to do is make sure that any that are loose, right, should come out, because that will make room for the stronger ones to then grow there. So again, just keep your hair as clean as possible. You try to get rid of any mold, bacteria, or funguses, which if you put the salt water in your hair and you let it soak for 15 to 20 minutes first before rinsing it out, that is enough to ensure that it like kills pretty much all fungus, all molds, all bacteria. And that is like, it's a really natural method, completely non-invasive. I mean, we can go to the beach and swim for hours, like, and sometimes doing that really helps too, because also taking care of your overall health also improves the quality of your hair. So getting plenty of exercise, getting your sunlight from getting your vitamin D from your sunlight, that also helps. But I think more than anything is just keeping that blood circulation going. Is probably the most helpful to growing thick, healthy hair, and to encourage and optimize the ability to grow hair in those bald patches. Of course, like I said, I'm not a doctor. If you are having like real problems and my methods are not helping you, please go see a professional. Go see your GP, who can then refer you to a specialist. Well, I hope that my tips do help you, and I think that they do probably help a majority of the general public. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna read some more. I tend to wear hats a lot, and would sweat depending what I'm doing. Could that be a reason for getting bald patches because of bad bacteria? That is a good question. I suppose that could be. It could also be wearing hats can overheat the area. I'm glad, Danny. I'm really glad, because what I really want to do with this channel is to help people. So I'm so happy that this is helping you. Yeah. So I think perhaps wearing the hat, because I also don't wear a hat very often. I do find it kind of restricting, and I think it's more that it's restricting to the blood circulation and the blood flow. I think that wearing hats can also overheat your head, because as I said, hair is trying to protect your skin, and what it's protecting you from most of the time is the cold, not so much the heat. So wearing a hat less might help. Maybe even putting an ice pack on your head from time to time, just to really cool it down. And that also will increase the blood flow, and like improve the quality of the skin that the hair is growing from. So yeah. I think that if it is the bacteria again, the salt wash will probably take care of cleaning away any of that bacteria. Great. Thanks, Danny. Let us know how it goes. So I am going to plan on live streaming more often. I'm gonna try to do every day, but I can't really promise every day, but I will try every day, and probably around 2 p.m. 4 p.m. AEDT time, because because I'm Aussie. So that's and I got a little confused, like figuring out the time today, because the other side of Australia at the moment, for some reason, is in a totally different time zone. No, I do not do Twitch. I actually I have an account on Twitch, but I'm having like real issues like logging in. So well, at least logging in as a streamer. I can log in fine as a viewer, but I don't know what's going on with that. I guess I could start a new account or something, but no, I am not streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming entirely on YouTube, and I kind of feel a little bit like YouTube's beta tester for live streaming vertically and things like this, because I gotta say, I haven't seen a lot of people live streaming on YouTube vertically. So it's cool. I'm learning. This has actually been great, and I actually really love the setup of this, having the messages on the bottom of the screen there. I was actually wondering like how I was gonna go about doing that, but it's there, and it's really lovely that I can talk to you, particularly Danny Hustle Productions. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that compliment. I really appreciate that. Yeah, this has been another great experience. Yeah. So I just want to recap again about sending hair to Variety, which is the organization, hairwithheart.variety.org.au. I do have a fundraiser page on there. So if anybody would like to go there and donate, that will really be appreciated. That money goes straight to charity. I do not collect any of that whatsoever. It goes straight to charity. Yeah. So, extending a little bit of hair. Oh, now to cut the hair, for the charity, I got these rubber bands because I have tried to donate to one of these charities before, and I made a few mistakes. So I just kind of want to tell people what not to do. So first of all, get these rubber bands. Get the normal rubber bands that you get like for stationery supplies. I got this packet is from Daiso, I think. You can also get them at $2 shops. Some you can also find them in the stationery aisle of like Woolworths, Coles, that sort of place. Of course, Officeworks would have them too, but you want just the normal rubber bands. That because I did try with these hair bands that I usually wear, because they don't snag, but what happens is these slip off a little bit too easily, and you want to actually send the hair with the rubber band to hold it together. So what I did was I tied the rubber band a bit above where I wanted to cut, and then I tied another one a bit below, like this, so that you have like this and this. Now you want to make sure that you don't go too high up, because then your hair will get like super short. because you are going to trim a little bit, like a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. And what you want to do is you want to take your scissors and just cut. Don't cut yourself. Cut. Be very careful not to cut yourself. And just cut between the two rubber bands, like right there. And then you should have your hair safely secured at the top, and then the bottom part should come off quite easily like that, and it will all stay in one nice little bundle to send off to them. I've got just a simple snap lock bag here to send it. And yeah, they have an address that you can just send it directly to. And so if you go to their website, they'll have, because they're doing a drive right now, and they'll have the details. They'll have like an introduction kit and things that you can sign up to if you want to do that. And because, of course, the best kind of hair to send is to have the 20 centimeters or longer that is of natural. I am going to be working hard to do that. I'm going to grow this out, and that will probably take me a couple of years to do, to get to like a good length and to get to grow out all this bleach part. So that's my plan. I have to remind myself not to go too crazy with any hair dyes or bleaches, and not to not to cut it too early. So make sure that I've got the full 20 centimeters for next time. So yeah, that, and I think this is also like just a great lesson for people who want to be charitable and help out without spending money, because I did not spend a cent to do this. Well, I mean, I might spend like $1 or something. I think it's $2.80 now to like just send a package through the mail. So I'm not sure if they've got a I think they sent, I think it was a PO box, so I don't think it's free to send it through the mail. But so it'll probably be about $2.80. But basically, you don't need to spend a lot to like really help people out. And likewise, I'll also be doing a blood donation next week, which I might think about actually streaming. I'm gonna like ask them if it's okay for me to film. Usually they're okay with me taking photos and things, because I put that stuff on social media before. And the reason why I am, well, I had previously been a pretty regular blood donor, because like it actually started with me wanting to write my vampire novel and doing a little bit of research about blood and exchanging blood and how blood is drawn and that sort of thing. And I ended up giving blood, like, to see what that was all about. So it was a little bit of background research for my book. And then I was like, wow, this really helps people, because every donation can save up to 3 lives. So you're literally saving a life every time you donate, and it doesn't cost you anything except maybe a trip to the donor center, which yes, like depending on whether you drive or whether you take the train, will cost whatever amount. But usually it's like my family's like, oh, we're gonna be going shopping like in that area anyway, so we can go do that. I did stop for a while though, because obviously couldn't do it when I had COVID. Obviously couldn't do it. Well, you have to be very, very healthy. You can't do drugs or anything. You can't sleep around and all that, because you have to have clean, healthy blood to donate in the first place. So you have to live a pretty healthy and hygienic life. By all means, if you're unsure, just ask them. They will only take the blood if it's safe for you, the donor, and it's safe for the people to receive the blood, and it doesn't hurt to ask. they will run the tests. They will weigh you. They will take your blood. They'll take a sample. They'll prick your finger to see what your blood sugar levels like. And they will ask you a whole bunch of screening questions to make sure that you are safe, healthy, and able to donate. And they occasionally relax rules for it, as particularly if it's in a time when they really do need blood, or but sometimes they're like really strict, and it will vary from center to center. So if you're unsure, just go and ask. However, last time I went, they said that my blood pressure was a little bit high, so it was just a little bit, my heart rate was a little bit fast. So and that was like right after I had COVID as well, so it was like maybe I haven't quite recovered yet, and they were worried that perhaps it wouldn't be safe for me. So they said that I couldn't. So I didn't, but I took that advice because that was like, oh, well, then I better make sure that I am healthy. So I have been dieting, I've been exercising, I've been a really good girl about it. So hopefully, when I do donate again next week, they'll say that it's all okay, but I'll have to basically get all medically checked out again before I can do that. But what prompted me to go, look, I really should try again, is one of the other streamers, a really big streamer, VTuber named Iron Mouse, who posted on Twitter that she, due to her medical issues, needed to get some blood, and so she was urging everyone to please try to donate, because it does actually save lives and it doesn't cost you any money. So you can make a huge deal to somebody else's life. You can literally save their life and not spend money. So if you're like, I don't have any money, or you're just feeling shitty about yourself or whatever like that, I've found that, like, yeah, when I'm just like, I feel like I've been a horrible person lately, and I go give blood and I feel better because I'm like, at least I saved someone's life. So and like, there can be, everybody can have different motivations for it. I find a lot of people, when they find out that their friend has been going through something like that, like for instance Iron Mouse, or I've also had a friend that went through the cancer chemotherapy, and she came up to me and she was like, and when she found out that I give blood, she was like so thankful. And so there are people that it'll help, and sometimes you don't even know. Sometimes, yeah, it might be a friend or family member, and like out of the blue they just come out and say and like tell you, because a lot of the times people get their treatments and things and they don't tell their friends and family, either because they do feel kind of ashamed about it, because I mean, when you're sick, you sometimes feel like you are kind of being weak, and that's a very vulnerable state to be in. So very often family and friends won't even tell people around them that they are going through all these hardships on their own, and or they'll be like, oh, it's not that much of a fuss, or it's not really relevant to the conversations that they're having with people, so they just like don't want to like tell everyone their whole medical history, and they'll go get their treatments and not tell anyone. And so in my experience, it's been like, when they find out that I'm giving blood, then they come out and tell me that they're really grateful and thank me for it. But there are also plenty of people that will give blood or give hair donations because they have people in their lives who they know are going through that, which in my case was my mum, who suffered cancer, but thankfully she is healthy now. they were able to successfully remove it through the operation. They removed all of it. Her tests have been coming out clean since, so thank goodness. In her case, she's fine and healthy. But that did motivate me to be more on the lookout for these charities that do support cancer patients. And seeing Iron Mouse post about how she needed blood reminded me that I should go and attempt again to give blood. So sometimes people get motivated through friends and family. But, you know, if you just want to be charitable, be good, give a little bit of good karma, I think that karma really does work. I think if you do good things in life, it somehow finds a way of getting back to you. It might not be from the same person that you were nice to. I think, like, sometimes you'll be nice to someone, and it's you shouldn't expect that just because you're nice to that person, they'll be nice back, because in quite a few cases they're not. But sometimes it's like, oh, somebody else sees that you're nice, and then they'll like treat you nicely because of that. Like it I think that the universe is a really, really big place, and if you put a little bit of positive energy in one area, it will come back to you, even if it doesn't come back to you directly from the same place. Like, it might come back to you from a completely different place entirely, right? So I really just think that, yeah, just try to put out some good. And that's what I aim to do with my streaming and my channels, is just put out some good. At the same time, I don't want to rag on anyone that's like, oh, they don't want to donate hair or blood or whatever. There are plenty of people that have religious reasons for that. There's plenty of people that have their own health reasons for that, and they like physically can't. I understand that entirely. I too got very frustrated and felt so awful and guilty when I couldn't donate because I had the COVID. So I totally understand that feeling, and that feeling is awful. And I certainly do not want anyone to feel like that they are obligated, or that they need to do it, or they're a horrible person if they don't. None of that, okay? If you can't, don't. If you don't want to, also don't. But if you can, and you are willing, and you think that, you know, it will help someone, it makes you feel good that you will be helping someone, by all means go ahead. And don't feel bad if they say that you can't. Like, you're not alone. There are plenty of people that go to these, and it's scary because rejection in general is very scary. But it's worth trying. A majority of the time they will say, yeah, you're healthy enough, we can totally take blood. But there are times when they'll knock you back, and it does kind of sting. And again, I've been through it. I know what it feels like. I know it kind of sucks, and then you feel like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? They can't take my blood. But it's not personal, okay? They just want to make sure that you're safe. They just want to make sure that their other patients are safe. So it's all about safety. That's all. Try to remember that it's just about safety. If you do get knocked back for whatever reason, that it is just, they do not hate you as a person. In fact, they know that it's an awful feeling to feel rejected. So that's not, so they're not going to hate on you about it at all, right? It's just purely for safety, that they do have the rules, and that they do check, and they do make sure that you are healthy enough to give blood. And that's also what I thought was a great perk about giving blood, is that you do get a regular checkup, and during the checkup, yeah, they'll pick up stuff that it's like, oh, if you're unhealthy, if your cholesterol's too high, or your blood sugar's not good, then they'll tell you, and then because you then know, you can go to your doctor and have that worked out and fixed, and have some sort of plan to improve your own health and get better. So I I am a little bit strange because I know a lot of people do get very anxious about getting tests done or going to see a doctor. I always feel better once I've had a test and I've had the result come back and it's like everything is fine. Like I find that as a huge relief. So I always prefer to get the test done because then you know, and because you know as well, you can also fix the problem if you know if there is a problem. Um, but a majority of the time, you get the test and it comes back and it's like there is no problem. Don't know why you're worried in the first place. All right, so that's like your optimal best case scenario. Uh, so I do recommend that, like, if you are for whatever reason feeling like, oh, maybe your health isn't up to scratch, just go talk to your doctor, your GP. um, I know that in some other countries that can get a bit expensive. Thankfully, in Australia, we do have some pretty decent healthcare, so we can see like the doctor bulk billed. I think like 12 times a year or something like that. So you can do like a monthly check, and you'll be within that. Uh, so uh, so I think that, I mean, some other country, I don't know, I don't live in other countries. So maybe, yeah, if you want to tell me more about how it does work in other countries, then again, leave those comments in the comments wherever the comments show up. Again, I'm like learning this, and learning is something that's like, it's okay to suck at when you're starting. And like, some people might not be real kind about you sucking, right? But like, sometimes everybody has to start somewhere, and a lot of the times you do start off as a complete and utter noob, and you're sucking at life and you don't know what you're doing, and you just gotta like figure it out and know that it will be okay, and that you'll actually, and it's a brave thing. It's about being brave and courageous. Brave is about feeling the fear and then doing what you have to do anyway. Right? So yeah, so when you like, are starting out and you're an absolute noob, it's terrifying. That's normal. If you feel like you are dumb and terrified, that's perfectly normal, and that is an actual starting point. That is how you feel when you start things, right? Then after that, you start to go, okay, I'm getting the hang of this, and you start to like learn things. You start like figuring out how certain things work, then and then like, so I think it was an Adventure Time, when he said the first step to being good at anything is sucking. And I just thought that is so accurate. Like, I keep sort of just saying like over and over again, I have university degrees, I have university degrees, because that is like affirming to me that it's like I'm not done. But I still have my moments. I still have moments where it's just like I know nothing about this new thing, because my university degrees do like make me particularly smart in the areas that I studied, but then there'll be something like geography or basic arithmetic, which had nothing to do with literature, um, that I will be like, oh, I'm like super dumb in this thing. Right? So, and like stuff like politics, where I like tried to avoid that most of my life because that, to me, that was terrifying. That also, like, I'll be like, I am just super dumb in these areas. History also, I have trouble remembering names like right now in the present. Like when, so I'll be like, and I have a whole backstory about that as well. Right. In university, I had a pretty bad sporting injury. We were playing a pretty stupid game where we had a blindfold and we were supposed to trust our partners to verbally tell us which way to go to run up to the end of a field and back. And of course, what happens when you tell people to run to the end of a field and back is half the people will get there first, turn around, and smack into the other people. um, and I had blindfold on, so I didn't know what was happening, and I got hit in the head like super hard, and apparently I passed out for a really long time. A complete stranger gave me mouth to mouth resuscitation that I do not remember at all. I didn't even know that, like, it was years later that my best friend said, "You don't even know that she gave you," like, and told me what happened, and I was just like, no, I had absolutely no idea. I just woke up in the medical bay at the university, and it was funny because they asked to assess whether I was conscious or like coherent. They started asking me basic arithmetic. They asked me math questions, and I was like, I can't do this on a normal day, like, let alone after taking an actual hit to my head, right? Oh, that's an actual book too. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Oh, that's really interesting. I will have to look up that book. That's really, I would love to read that book. I love reading, so I will look up that book. I will make a note to look up that book. Yeah. So it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Okay, I will look up that book and hopefully find some time to read it. Yes. And yeah, I was, train of thought. Yes. So, yeah, after I had the concussion, I struggled to remember names of people, and that was like super weird because before I had the concussion, I had this party trick where I would have everyone in the party say their name in order, and then I would recite every single person's name, and give them a compliment at the same time, because the trick was what they call pinning. So you get, so say the guy's name is Gary, starting with G, and you'd notice that he has a green tie, and so you'd link the tie being green with Jerry having his name start with Jerry. I just said Jerry. I stuffed it up already. His name was Gary, right? So you would like memorize that his tie was green, so that was the G, and the G would trigger you remembering that his name was Gary. And so, and there was something about like numbers as well, so you would link that to the number one somehow. And so you'd go, the first person you met was Gary, and his tie was green, G, green, Gary. And so you'd go, hey Gary, great tie, right? So I would be able to do that for like a whole room of people, like 25 people, and have absolutely no problem doing that. And then after the concussion, I'm like, you just told me your name for the third time, and I seriously can't remember it again. I just like that part of my brain somehow seems to have been like messed up by that whole concussion. So I have trouble remembering, but I've always been bad at history. I've always been like, I can't remember names and dates of like anything, anywhere. I'm so like incredibly thankful that Wikipedia exists. Like, anytime it's like, oh, I need to know something about somebody mentioned a name. Who is that? Type. Ah, yes, Wikipedia, a hero again. So, and that also is helpful in my writing of my vampire novel, because it's like, oh, if I need to double fact check things, then I can look that up on Wikipedia, and it's Somebody, I forgot who said it. It was again, I forgot names. But I'm fairly sure it was an author that said it, that said the internet was made for writers. Like, it's just a fantastic thing to be able to just constantly fact check yourself as you're writing, to just randomly use the random generators to generate ideas, to like do your brainstorming, and to gather inspiration and all that sort of thing. And then, of course, to like socialize with people, get to figure out how people like interact and work and speak and their dialogue and everything, so that you can create better characters. The internet's just fantastic for all of that. Uh, so, yeah, it is like a fantastic, almost perfect tool for a writer. And I have been immensely enjoying writing this book, which is my first novel and the first one that I've ever gotten this far. I usually get about 3 chapters in and then get completely distracted. In a way, COVID made me the shut-in that I have always aspired to be, and thus I ended up actually getting a novel written. So that's fantastic. It's in its editing phases now. Hopefully it won't be too long before I finish editing it and it gets to the point where a publisher can look at it. So, working on that, that will be coming up probably in a few months' time. Hopefully not more than a year. Hopefully. But we don't know how things are going because I'm just winging it. I'm totally, as I said, I'm learning stuff. I'm learning how to stream. I'm learning how to like be a writer. And I want to get more painting done, which I previously said I was setting up a tent in the backyard. And then we did end up setting up the tent, and then it rained, and then it got blown over by the wind, uh, and it was like, oh, good thing I didn't put my paintings in there because they would have been totally destroyed by the rain and the wind. And then Australian weather was like super hot again, and then basically Dad was like, no. This is not working. We're just gonna take the tent down. And by the way, I have to give credit to my dad. My dad's the one that like actually ended up setting up the tent and taking it down. I was that kid where it was like I whined to Dad, and then Dad eventually did it. Uh, so the tent idea, we've scrapped that. So I am still gonna have to try to figure out somewhere to actually do some painting. At some point, we're gonna figure that out. But actually, it's probably better that I just finish focusing on the book until that's done. I do have a little bit of a. I do not have ADHD, but I think being a university student for too long has made me just exhibit ADHD behavior. I get like, unless I've got a due date to finish assignments, I get very distracted and start other projects. So I will try to finish focusing on the book first before other things. But I will be regularly streaming. I will try to stream like an hour a day. Try to do that. And hopefully through that kind of grind and repetition, I'll get better at it. So, again, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for likes and subscribes. Thank you for being here. I really enjoyed chatting to you today, Danny. And I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Yes. So peace, everyone. Peace out. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow, probably around 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. We'll see. Okay. Bye.